Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Best Roofer Marketing's April webinar, How to Buy Digital Marketing in 2022. This is a really exciting topic because we're going to expose some truths today. We're going to be sharing with you guys some of those don't ask, don't tell type of questions that as a small business owner, you wish you knew. And as a marketing team or a marketing agency, traditionally, they hope you never know. So let's dive right in. The agenda today is going to be fourfold. We're going to cover how to buy digital marketing in 2022. Where should you invest your marketing ad dollars? What questions you should be asking? And then how to feel comfortable with your decisions, right? So that's an important one, is you want to be able to feel comfortable with these decisions. So getting right in on how to buy digital marketing in 2022. First thing you have to do is you really have to establish your plan of attack. All good marketing strategies come with a solid plan that you should know exactly what you're going to do and what you want to get out of your marketing. How are you going to go about it? One of the things that's a misnomer is that you have to outsource everything or that you can do everything yourself. So we suggest making two lists, what you can and should do yourself and what you should really hire out. We're going to cover under the why behind the pricing. So if you talk to 10 different marketing agencies, you're typically going to get 10 different prices. And we're going to cover several times in this webinar today things that you should do. One of those is ask the uncomfortable questions. Really understand the why behind the pricing and the pricing model and structure. And you do this by asking those tough, direct questions. You want to look for companies that focus on your goals more than they focus on their products and services. So when you're actually interviewing, and we're going to cover a lot of this being a two-way interview, when you're interviewing your marketing agencies, you really want to take note of the structure of their conversation and whether they spend more time talking about themselves or talking about you and really learning about your business. And then lastly, you want to minimize your partners and build your team for the long term. So results take time. You need to buckle up and really commit to this because marketing for roofing companies is an expensive process. All right, so you're ready to create your plan. First things you need to do is write out your goals with clarity. You want to start with your end goal in mind and then reverse engineer the entire path to the very beginning. So when you sat back and you were dreaming about becoming a roofer or a roofing company owner, you probably thought about a target revenue number, a target employee count, a size company that you wanted to achieve. And marketing can help get you there, but if you don't have a really thorough plan with the end in mind, a lot of times you get caught up in the riffraff and you're too deep in your business, not working on your business from the 30,000-foot view. It's easy to get lost in that. When you're setting goals, you need to get your team on board with your goals. If your team isn't fully committed and everybody's not in the front of the boat's not going to be going as fast as it should be. So you really want to make sure that not only do you have your buy-in, but reinforce the commitment from everybody on your team, no matter their position, that they're heading and moving in the same direction as you. You want to hold your team accountable to executing the plan and don't pivot too soon. That's twofold. That's the marketing team that you end up hiring, and that's your internal team, right? There's certain things that a marketing agency cannot do without getting your input or without receiving assets from you, et cetera. So whoever's responsibility that is on your internal team, hold them accountable as well, because from the moment you consummate the agreement, you should be all in on your marketing plan and strategy to help you achieve your goals. And then regularly review your results, not just with your marketing team, but again with your internal team. Let them know what's working well with your marketing. Let them know what's not working so well and where you're going to pivot to continue to drive in the new opportunities for the business that should be there. So another question that we're going to cover today is where you should invest your ad dollars. And we're going to go a little bit deeper in this. First of all, we're going to break this down, as we said, in two lists. You have your internal things that you can do yourself with most scenarios. Most companies are capable of handling these things. Yeah, you might be needing a little bit of guidance from your marketing agency or for somebody else who's a mentor that's been there, done that. But these are things that you can pretty easily control. One of them is setting up your referral program. We talk to so many roofing companies who tell us a huge part of their revenue stream is referral business, repeat and referrals, and that's fantastic. The challenge is these same companies admit that 20, 30, 40% of their revenue comes by way of referral, yet they don't have a solid referral program in place. Secondly, don't be cheap. Guys, you're out here selling $12, $15, $20,000 roofs, $100,000 commercial opportunities, and you want to give away a $50 or $100 gift card for a roof. Pay somebody. Pay these homeowners that already know you to tell their neighbors about you and get them excited about it. Give them a $500 referral program, or give them something unique. Buy them a barbecue grill or buy them an Xbox for their kids, but make it fun, make it unique, but more importantly, make it a process and invest in your referral program, and then get everybody on your team promoting your referral program. It can be a really lucrative part of your business and a self-controlled, easy thing to manage, but you have to have a process in place for it. You can't just say we have a referral program and expect it to be a material part of your business line. Social content organic. So this is not ads. This is really managing your Instagram, your Facebook, your TikTok, wherever you're at based on your audience, LinkedIn if you're B2B commercial. You need to handle your social organic. Yes, you can offload this to a marketing agency, and many of them will take your dollars to create generic, stock, non-relevant content just to kind of fill up your social page. And while that may help with the credibility side of it, think about it like this. If you're at an awards banquet from your networking group in your community or your chamber of commerce where you won an event as best roofer in your market, that marketing agency is not going to be there at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night at that gala, but you are. Flip on your phone and take a little quick video, take a live feed, just take some pictures of receiving the award and post it. It can take 2 minutes or less to do this. This is the type of content that your homeowners and your community brand ambassadors want to see. Video content. Again, the same thing. Video editing and having a professional team come out and shoot professional video is a paid service, but you can easily flip on the latest and greatest phone that you have. Anything north of an iPhone 10 is really good technology on video quality. You can get something that's social media worthy. Another process that's important that you should control internally are getting and capturing reviews consistently. I emphasize the term consistently. So a lot of people don't realize this, but the algorithms on Google will rank you based on not just how many reviews you have, how consistently you're getting new reviews. When you think about search engine marketing, specifically with Google and Facebook too, but Google is the world's largest data aggregator. Their number one mission is to collect data and then repurpose it, resell it. They're an information hub. So reviews are a component of that data. You're feeding them information about how well you're doing in your community. The more consistently you feed them reviews, the better you will do against the algorithms. Vice versa, if you're getting one review every 2 months, that's not going to help grow your credibility. But moreover, the algorithms will suppress you because you're not consistently giving them the data. So keep that in mind. Networking is a great thing that everybody we recommend should be doing in some capacity. It could be joining a statewide association. It could be doing a local BNI or Chamber of Commerce or community group. But it's easy word of mouth marketing, top of mind, that you should be doing to have a holistic marketing strategy. Again, the conferences and the associations are huge. If you're not investing in developing your team and really educating them and letting them stay on top of the best industry trends, the best industry technology, letting them feel like you're pouring into them, you're doing your team a disservice. Conferences can be expensive, but on the same token, it's well worth the return that you're going to get from motivating your team, rejuvenizing everybody. They're a lot of fun. So it's a team building exercise. So we're huge ambassadors of the conferences and the associations. We're actually taking a seat on our state roofing contracting board. These associations are just a wealth of knowledge. Email marketing. Email marketing is something that you can pay for as a service to an agency. However, you're going to be just as well served by setting up some automations through your CRM. So if you're using an AccuLinks or a Job Nimbus, Job or whatever, there's a lot of tools that they have to help you through the CRM management, really engage those audiences. And this is something that a marketing manager on your team or an office manager can handle. There is a benefit to it, but we would recommend saving your money and spending it elsewhere when you're looking at external hires. And then lastly, on the internal side, photos. Photos are widely overlooked across the country in so many different facets. And creative photos are even more widely overlooked. We'll build websites sometimes for customers that they give us all their assets, but it looks like a library of rooftops of drone footage, and you can overuse that. You really want to try to think about creative ways to make your photos fun. And then you can integrate them through tools like Company Cam or so forth to really serve a marketing purpose. You can post them on your Google My Business listing. Google loves photos. Again, the data aggregation component. So take lots of photos, put them through a simple filter on your phone, and then post them. That really goes a long way. Now we're going to break down a column about external. These are things that we recommend that you hire out. One, your website. We're not roofers, we're roofer marketers. So we say that you would be just as served doing your own website as I would be building my own roof, right? This is something that's important. It's the foundation of all your marketing. It's the core central hub. You should definitely hire a professional with your website and with your paid ads. Paid ads is very complex, guys. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of different ways to run paid ads. It's not as simple as just saying, hey, I'm on Google. If you think about Google alone, you have your local service ads at the top. That's a different algorithm than your pay-per-click, which is different than your map section where you can run ads. So there's a lot of different components to having a holistic and effective marketing campaign. And you need to find a partner that you can trust to actually guide you on what you should be doing, not just taking your money based on what you want to spend. SEO and content. You've heard the term content is king, and that's very true, right? So what we would say is that anybody can write a blog about your business, and there's benefit to that. But having true search engine optimization content writers is paramount, right? When you're thinking about the importance of rankings, most people don't explain SEO in the proper way. We try to explain it with an analogy around a 401k. If you started your 401k when you're 18 and you invested as much as you possibly could, when you were 40, you'd be damn glad you did. And the same kind of thing applies to search engine optimization and content, right? So it can be complex. Most people don't understand it because it doesn't give them the immediate gratification, the immediate turnaround and payoff. But when you think about your marketing plan, you want to think about it from a short-term perspective and a long-term perspective. And search engine optimization, if done right, can drive a significant amount of traffic to your business, which are going to generate new qualified leads and help you grow your business. If you're not investing in this component where your homeowners and potential homeowners are shopping, you're missing the boat. You definitely want to get out of the I'm running my business off of an Excel spreadsheet and whiteboard CRM model. Invest in the technology, guys. You're talking about a couple of $100s a month, and this is going to save you so much time and aggravation. You might have to invest 4 or 8 hours to really learn how to become a CRM master and understand your technology and all the capabilities that it has. But most of these companies, again, House Call Pro, Job or Job Nimbus, they have onboarding specialists to help you minimize and maximize the technology to your liking based on your needs. But I'll tell you this, we've helped a lot of businesses and roofing companies sell and prepare to sell. If you're on the old Excel spreadsheet, whiteboard model, and you're doing yourself a disservice, that master database that you should have collected, your business is significantly worth less than what it could be if everything was buttoned up. Moreover, there's really 2 ways to get rid of a business effectively. You sell it or you hand it down to your family. And if you're trying to hand down your business as a legacy business to your children, you think about it like this. You are the last potential, and some of you may not even be, but you're the last potential generation to have ever understood a world pre-smartphone technology and pre-computers. Your kids were born into this. So in 20 years, if you want to pass down your business full of paper notebooks and Excel spreadsheets and whiteboards to your kids, you might as well be handing them like a trash can, right? It's not appealing to them. Button up your CRMs, button up your technology. There's a lot of SaaS and a lot of technology out there. Don't get overloaded, but some of the webinars you can find online for free, or some of the conferences that you can attend will tell you the latest and greatest technology. You can vet out 2 or 3 and make a decision. Direct mail marketing is effective. It's not something that we do at Best Roofer Marketing, but we do have strategic industry partners that cover direct mail. There's a lot of ways to integrate the old school mentality of hitting a neighborhood or hitting a community or a zip code after a storm or pre-storm. But now through technology, you can actually automate some of that to really have an electronic dialed in version that supports your traditional direct mail piece. Dope marketing is one that's out there that's really good. There's a bunch of them, but direct mail does still work if there's a good strategy behind it. Your branding. Canva and other apps have made it very simple to go online and create a logo in 2022. I would recommend that you really talk to a marketing agency that understands branding and can help give you some guidance, because you may create a logo or a brand package that's really ineffective for all the different ways that you're going to have to use this in the short term and the long term. If you're thinking about a logo that has a tremendous amount of detail, but you eventually want to wrap your fleet, we say that your car should be visible, your logo should be clear, and your phone number should be clear up to 10 car lengths away at a red light. So you want to have this type of guidance from your brand agency to help you really get off on the right foot. There's also strategy that comes into the name, keywords that you're using in the name of your branding in your business. So I would recommend strongly that you find somebody to give you some guidance and have a conversation before you just start your branding. And then lastly, reputation or reputation management. So a lot of people miss an opportunity here to go interact with their community and interact with their customers online. But this is important. The algorithms on social media platforms, as well as the search engines, really hold businesses accountable to engage. Engagement is huge, and you should strongly consider your reputation management being outsourced. So that being said, let's go a little further and where you should invest your ad dollars. Again, just to recap, into a referral program internally, your social media organic, the more people to see your post, it's going to be more active against the algorithms. Video content, it's not going away. Reviews, you got to have a dialed in process. Networking is low hanging fruit, guys. Guys and gals, it's getting up, it's putting your pants on, it's doing your makeup if that's applicable, and it's getting out and shaking some hands and telling people what you do, who you are, and how you can serve them. And that does pay off. Conferences and associations, email marketing, and then photos. And then the external is your websites, your paid ads, your content, having a proper CRM and the best technology, utilizing direct mail, co-marketing opportunities to do a podcast, a speaking engagement, to write as a guest blog. If you're really an expert, you really want to do your co-marketing, and then reputation management. So moving on, you can actually break down your marketing budget in a number of different ways. Are you doing 25% of it internally and offshoring 65, 75% of it? Are you kind of balanced down the middle? Do you have a marketing manager? Every roofing company business is different. However, you want to know what your percentage splits are when you're actually thinking about carving up your marketing budget and your marketing strategy and who's going to own what. Now let's get into some of those exposed questions. This is really cool because so many roofing companies will never know the questions that really matter and the questions that they should be asking. So the next several slides and sections are going to cover types of questions you should be asking and considerations you should take into account. So general questions before you even get started, you want to know that you need to treat these marketing agency conversations like an interview. Be prepared to talk to 2 or 3 different agencies at 2 or 3 different times before making your decision, because it's an important one. And again, we recommend that when you make the decision, you commit to the agency for a period of time. You want to really understand the difference between a marketing agency and a sales-focused marketing agency. So we pride ourselves on being focused on the sales. So many agencies out here will actually set you up with a set of deliverables. You'll hear from them once a month, and all they're going to do is give you a report back that they did what they said. Versus a true partner is going to get in the weeds with you and understand and give recommendations outside of areas that they monetize to help you think about the sales. Because all marketing, if it's done correctly, should have an emphasis on moving the sales needle forward. You want to be prepared to ask the tough questions. Again, we covered this at the top, but it's better through the during of the dating phase than it is before you get married. So start asking the tough questions out of the gate. Be pointed, be specific, and trust your gut. There's a lot of slick marketers out here, but God bless us all with a BS meter, right? So if you think about that, when an agency is talking with you and you ask them a specific question and they give you the skirt around and they don't really answer the question specifically, that should be your first red flag right there. Re-ask the question and say, listen, this is what I'm really looking for, and hold them accountable to answering. And if you're not getting the warm and fuzzies in the very beginning, go with your gut. We've sat across from thousands of business owners, hundreds of roofers, and we know this. A lot of people will let their gut, their best instincts, fall by the wayside to go with the cheaper option. So if you think about your investment level, you may be paying less with agency A, but are you really getting the results versus paying a little bit more with agency B that you really felt comfortable using, but you're starting to see the results? What's more valuable to your business? So when you think about this, before you even pick up the phone and start calling agencies to interview, you really need to determine what's important in your marketing partner, right? And this isn't just about money. It's about the characteristics and traits of the team that you would be working with, the expertise that they have. Do they have results in case studies? Do they really know the industry and so forth? Find out whatever those characteristics are that are important to you. Make that determination before you start interviewing, and then stick with it. You decided when you were unbiased and uninfluenced and even uneducated on the topic what you wanted in a partner. Use these interviews to find that partner. Take everything into account that you uncover from these 2 or 3 conversations per company you speak with, but do not make an emotional decision. Make a business decision. So here's some questions you should ask. Right out of the gate, you want to understand what the contract duration looks like. You also need to understand the difference between a partnership agreement and a contract. So I'm going to break this down for you very simplistically. When you think about a contract, that is X number of deliverables for X number of dollars, and that's it. They're going to hit those deliverables, and you're going to have that payment due every month. A partnership agreement has a little bit more fluidness. A partnership agreement is going to allow you the flexibility to raise your budget or lower your budget based on seasonality. It's going to give you the flexibility to make changes or shift in your strategy where applicable, or jump on a new opportunity or a new market. Really understand what you're getting yourself into, and then ask about results. Do they have case studies, referrals, examples to share? Are they well known in your industry? Do you have common connections in place, etc.? You want to understand if they have expertise and experience versus the time in the business. And I put this in here specifically for us because a customer told us this on video in one of the testimonials. Just because Best Roofer Marketing has been around for 2 years, our team has been in this industry for as far back as 2006, and we have over 75 years of combined experience. So there's a lot of value in that. So don't judge your marketing agency based on how long they've been open, but judge them based on how long they've been in the industry and what they really bring to the table in the conversations that you're having with them. This is going to set the groundwork for what your relationship is going to look like after the signature and payments are made. Transparency. You cannot just let a marketing agency provide you a generic Google Analytics report. Those days are long gone. Technology is simple to use. It's everywhere. It's affordable for even the smallest of agencies. If they're big enough to charge you money, they should be big enough to pay for the right type of reporting, including call recording and those technologies. There should be no guesswork in what's working and what's not. Do they have your growth goals in mind? Right? Is this a sell first, sell fast agency, or are they growing, retaining their clients? So think about that. There are a lot of agencies that are looking for hundreds of new clients per month. And there are agencies out here that want 3 to 4 or 5 clients per month. Think about their growth goals and really put into your mind, is this going to impact my relationship with who I'm working with? Do they really care about my roofing business, or are they simply just focused on new customers? And if I cancel, is that a big deal? And then lastly, you really want to ask the why behind the pricing. Again, as we've said, and we'll continue to say, pricing is going to vary from agency to agency. You have to make them show you the value, and that means that you're going to have to ask the why behind their pricing structure. Okay, question specific to a website. First of all, you want to know if you own the website and the content, or if it's what we call the lease never own model. If the pricing sounds too good to be true, only a few $100s a month, it's because it is. There are big companies out here that will sell you a templated website for $200, $300, $400 per month. And that all sounds great and affordable. But if you don't own it, or if you can't modify it, it's really useless. Furthermore, if you think about that, let's say you're paying $300 a month for a website, that's $3,600 a year. And if you intend on having this website for the next 5 years, you paid $18,000 for a website that buying outright may have cost you $7,500, $10,000. Is it a completely custom website versus a proven framework website versus a cheap template? There's really a place in the market, and especially in the roofing space, for 2 out of the 3. Cheap templates we're going to immediately omit, and there are thousands of them across the country. We see them every day. They're complete garbage. Somebody will go on and buy a template for $99 and turn around and resell it to you for $5,000, and they're horrible. What you want to look for is a custom website versus a proven framework website. Most of the roofing companies that get custom websites from us are commercial companies, B2B, and they're not doing a lot of digital marketing on a regular basis. The difference between a custom and a proven framework site is twofold. One, speed to launch. A proven framework site has already identified where the phone number should be, what type of contact forms, what type of things help a website convert, because it's focused on the sales. A completely custom website may take 2 or 3 months to build, and they're beautiful, and there's an aesthetic factor that you just won't get out of a proven framework. But there's also things that can jam up a custom website, like too much involvement from the customer. A proven framework site is designed to generate revenue. Completely custom websites can look and feel however you would like them and however you're going to be happy. Most agencies will build them for you with a very high ticket value, but they're not going to give you anything other than what you want. And again, that goes back to, at this point, you're building a website without the credibility to be building your own website. So keep that in mind. How long is it going to take to complete, and how long is it going to take to launch the marketing? Pretty self-explanatory. But here's one that I think a lot of business owners miss, and it's just not an expectation you would think about. Common sense tells you if you hire a marketing agency to build your website, they're going to go build you a website, and you're going to see it, and you're going to love it, and everything's going to be good. The truth of the matter is, a lot of times people actually sign up for a website, and then they have to have 15 meetings to get the thing completed. And it's just completely, give me this, give me that. It's a cumbersome process. It's way more than you signed up for. And you're asking yourself, what the hell am I paying you for as a marketing agency if I have to do everything? So really ask that question up front. How much involvement is required of me? You have to run your business, guys. You can't all of a sudden get in the weeds. Hiring an inexperienced agency that doesn't know this will oftentimes get you in the weeds doing things that you might as well have just done yourself. How many rounds of revisions do you get? That's both content and design. And you want to know that, because rewriting content can be expensive. Changing up a couple of spaces on the design might not take so long. So you really want to understand what your rounds of revisions look like. And then you want to take a look at some of their example sites, whether they're proven frameworks, whether they're completely customs, or if they're showing you example sites that are just generic templates. This is easily found. We have tools that we can actually scan a website and tell you how much the template costs, if it's a template, if it's a Wix website, etc. So you really want to take those kind of things into consideration. Next questions that you actually want to be asking are focused around ads. Do they have a flat rate retainer versus a percentage of spend? The percentage of spend model, this is a top thing that most businesses don't know. Truth be told, the easiest way to sell digital marketing to a roofer is the percentage of spend model, because you're just selling one flat rate. So we'll use a round number. We'll say that you're told by a marketing agency you should spend $10,000 a month. Marketing agency will take your $10,000 a month. They will keep their management fee, which is typically 30 to 40%. So they're taking $3,000 to $4,000 out, and then they're running your Google ads on their credit card. The challenge with that is you don't have transparency into the truth behind that percentage of spend and how much is really being allocated towards ads. So the second challenge with that is, if you tell the customer due to seasonality or what have you, you want to decrease your budget, you're going to be very hard pressed to get them to agree to that, because you're really cutting into their bottom line. Flat rate retainer model, the truth be told, and the exposure here is, it takes just as long to manage a $5,000 budget as it does a $10,000 budget. So we believe in the flat rate retainer model, having been selling this for years and years to thousands of businesses in corporate America. We learned that there's a right way to do it and there's the slick way to do it. For the marketing agency, it's a little bit harder because you have to sell the business owner on two prices. Then it's a little bit more frustrating for the business owner because they're getting billed on their credit card in $500 increments from Google or whatever their credit line is with Facebook, $200, $300, $600, or whatever the case may be. And there's incremental charges always coming out. The way you should buy your advertising is the flat rate retainer model. You want to have the transparency into what is really being spent on your budget, and it keeps you from overpaying in the percentage of spend model, because you're always going to be told, no matter what the problem is, you should keep your budget going up, 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 and up. They're never going to agree to lower your budget. You want to ask if they're a Google partner, if they're a Facebook partner, and do they have any industry affiliations? Again, this is going to speak to credibility of their experience and expertise. It's going to speak to credibility, how well they know your industry, and are they aligned with the type of businesses that serve the roofing industry. Is there flexibility in advertising spend? Can you increase, decrease your ads budget? Again, hint, this one only works with one of the number ones. That's the flat rate model. Transparency with the call recording, real-time reporting. These things are par for the course now, even for small agencies. What's the account management process? And how many competitors do they run ads against in your market at a time? What questions should you ask around SEO? Remember, we spent time telling you that SEO is a very important part of your marketing strategy, and you should be paying an agency to do this. However, if you don't understand it, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. So you really want to get them to explain the real value in search engine optimization. Then you want to know if the SEO is the same for every roofer. There's a lot of different strategies for search engine optimization. Content and links, content only, links only, on page, off page, all of it, none of it. There's a lot of different strategies. Search engine optimization in and of itself can be done effectively, typically universally, across the board in a similar fashion for every roofer. However, depending on where you live, whether it's Sheboygan, Wisconsin, or right here where we are in Atlanta, Georgia, population density is going to drive competition. How long you've been around is going to impact your competition and how well established you are, what your domain value is, your domain authority, how much of a reputation you have in your community. These are all baseline factors. So there should be different levels of SEO. And if you're told that you need to spend more or be more aggressive, you really want to take into account that could be true. It depends on a lot of things. It's a lot easier to rank in the Blue Ridge Mountains than it is in one of the largest metropolises in the country, Atlanta, Georgia. We cannot control as marketers where your business physically sits. But the bigger the city, the harder it is to rank, and therefore you should expect to spend a more aggressive search engine optimization budget. It will pay off if you find the right partner. I always tell people to ask how long it will take, not because there's a black and white answer. I encourage our roofing company owners to ask how long it's going to take to give results on SEO because you want to vet out the bullshit. You want to make sure you don't hear the G word. Guarantees cannot be made on Google. I repeat, nobody can guarantee you anything in digital marketing other than they're honest, they're doing what they say they're going to do because they have control over that. They do not have control over Google. All they can do is follow the best practices to ensure that it works. You want to understand who owns the content after the agreement expires. Again, the lease never own model on websites or any content that's created out there on your behalf if you take your website to another company. These are all important things to understand and make sure that you own the content even post the marketing agreement. You want to have them explain how custom SEO works in relation to your brand. And then you want to understand what the costs are and what the deliverables are for SEO. A lot of times business owners will overlook what they're really getting and if there's value there in the search engine optimization effort that's being put forth based on the budget that they're spending because they just don't know what to look for. So if you're naive, find somebody, get 2 or 3 opinions, like we said, rank them all up against each other, see what the value is, and make a determination based on that. And then here's some top general questions that you really want to ask. Who do you recommend for things that you don't do? Guys, listen, word of mouth referrals from industry experts can save you not only thousands of dollars, they can save you a tremendous amount of time, which also leads back to your revenue. Trusted referrals go a long way. And if the agency that you're looking at is a specialist agency in your industry, roofing specific versus a generalist, they may have strategic partners that they can line you with that are really good on customer service, that are really good on value, that are really good on price. And they can make those connections to save you the time from vetting them out. Again, understand a generalist agency versus a specialist agency. So the generalist agency is easier for the marketing agency owner because they quote unquote can sell anybody to try to help them with their marketing. A specialist agency becoming an expert in an industry takes a lot of time, a lot of education. There's a lot of value in that specialist agency. You're likely going to pay more for a specialist agency, but you're also going to get a strategic partner that can help guide you in the world of roofing and the technology and the marketing strategies and the best practices in the roofing industry. How long does the average customer stay with you? This is a great question. You might not always get a truthful answer, but again, going back to an earlier slide that we covered, trust your BS meter and trust your gut. If they start stuttering when you ask about customer retention, that's a problem. Secondarily, how long does your average employee stay with you? That really speaks to culture and customer experience. Listen, guys, one of the top reasons that employees leave marketing agencies is because they are overworked, underpaid, and there's no appreciation. They cannot be expected to give a great customer experience if they are not valued and appreciated. So think about this. If your marketing agency doesn't even value their employees that are working for them, what's your experience going to be like as a customer? So I would say, more importantly, it's not how long the customer stays with the agency, but how long do your employees stay with the agency? That's really going to set the tone for what that relationship is going to be like. And we're telling you not to hire Best Roof for marketing. We're telling you to hire a marketing agency that you can see yourself with as a trusted partner for many years. A lot of roofing companies cycle through a new agency every year. You're hitting the reset button over and over and over again. Ask questions about the onboarding process, not just how do we get started. That's the exciting question that every marketer loves to hear because they're being told I'm ready to buy. But take the time, take cause for pause and ask, what's the onboarding process to get started? What's expected of me as the business owner? Do you have an easy process for me to give you what you need? And how long is it going to take to move the needle forward? And then a good question to ask is, why do you offer the services you offer and why not XYZ? Just because an agency doesn't offer something that you think you need doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing or that they're not holistic. A good agency oftentimes will specialize in certain products or services because there's too many things going on in the world of marketing. It's too complex to be really good at everything. Or a marketing agency may not offer XYZ service because there's no value in it for their customer. So ask the question, trust your gut on the response, and if you're getting straight answers about why that's not offered, they might tell you, hey, this is something we're looking into, right? We're looking into a SaaS model to offer a better CRM solution for our customers. Or they might tell you that, hey, we've tested it, been there, done that, and we found that our customers were never using it, so it was just an expensive lift for us as an agency. But ask those types of questions to get yourself well equipped to make your decision. Don't just ask the general questions. Where are you at? How long is your contract? And how much does this cost? So lastly, you want to feel comfortable with your decision. At this point, guys, you've committed and it is a big investment, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year can be easily spent on roofing, marketing, advertising in a small market. That's just what it costs. It is what it is. We have no control over that. I assure you, if marketing agencies had control over that, we would all be in agreement that we want to bring the price down to make it easier to sell. So this is a big investment. However, it can make you a big return. But now that you've hired your marketing agency, you have to give grace and trust. You just hired them for their expertise. At this point, you have to let them do their thing. You can't question them at every turn. You can't start telling them the what ifs, what if this and what if that, and making recommendations that you think they should be doing. That would be like you coming out to the marketing agency owner's home. They've just hired you to do their roof. And the morning you show up on Monday morning at 8 a.m., they're standing in the driveway telling you where to park, all of the rules, what nails to use, what color shingle to use, when to take lunch. You can't do that. You have to trust your partner. You also want to look for proactive communication. If they're not contacting you more than you are them, there's probably a problem, especially after the first payment. There's a lot of things that a marketing agency will need from you to get your strategy off the ground, putting your best foot forward. You definitely want to look for proactive communication from them, not only in the beginning, but also once you're up and rolling. You want to make sure that they're reaching out to you to share the results and share the challenges. They should not just be reacting to you. If they're waiting until you contact them, they're waiting too long because there's probably a problem. They should be self-diagnosing and identifying these opportunities to get you the best return on investment possible. You want to look for accountability. Are they doing exactly what they promised you in the sales process? So many people come to us and they say, hey, I was promised this, but that is what happened. Hold them accountable, remind them who said what, when, and make sure that you are getting them to be accountable for what they sold you. Look for clarity. Again, digital marketing is complex. It's not always a black and white type process. You want to look for honest and clear communications. So clarification and clarity is key around your digital marketing because it's not easy. Things change multiple times a day in the world of digital marketing. Many of them are minor. You want to actually look for the major changes, see what's coming up, and then make sure that everything is clear. You want to look for the results. Obviously, going back to communication, when results are coming in, you want to share them with your team. They should know already what the results look like. But if you don't, you want to make sure that they are reaching out to you to show you what the results are. Stability. Some people are going to leave an agency for various reasons, and that's okay. But the core team, the main leadership team, should remain intact. And then you're looking for consistency. It's true, you're not going to meet as many frequent communications when you're up and rolling, but you want to be looked to be treated the same. It shouldn't be that you're treated like gold just in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, once you're paying, that relationship slows down. So this is it. Again, this is Best Roofer Marketing, guys. This is kind of what we do in our specialties. If you have any questions, now would be the time. Thanks so much for joining today. We look forward to talking to you soon.